We're gonna elevate things here. How did you go about building your character? Do you have any inspiration for your main character because she's so charismatic and interesting?
That's so funny because I always feel like my characters just already are. Like it never really feels like plot is construction, but the characters just sort of are. They just exist already, and I feel like I'm following them around with a pen. She's very different from me because people are always saying, you know, oh, is that based on your life? Is that autobiographical? You know, and well, no, she's a lot more feminine than I am, a lot more girly than I am, and there's a lot of other differences as well, which I'm sure you're aware of if you've read it. It's funny, when you're a female author, people make a lot of weird assumptions about you that don't exist with men. Like, I can't tell you the number of times that people have asked me, is this you? Did you pose for this painting? I mean, I don't think anyone asked Mickey Spillane to pose for his cover, okay?
And ironically, sometimes he did.
Exactly. So it's funny. I mean, people like to feel, it's titillating, I think. They want to imagine, yes, I've had a wild life, but I think fiction is more interesting. That's why I don't want to write memoir. It's boring to me. I don't like reality TV either. Made up stuff, stories, you know, make believe. That's my bag.
You mentioned Mickey Spillane. Are there, what writers do you care for?
Oh gosh, I mean, you know, well, obviously Richard Prather was the one who got us into all of this. I mean, I remember that was one of the first stories of that genre that I ever picked up was Dig That Crazy Grave. It was a Shel Scott novel, and just, I mean, I picked it up and it was just like, it was like a, it's just a ride. I was a wild ride. I was in love. And since then, you know, I mean, I read a lot of the classics, but I also have like funky, weird personal favorites like Dave Keane. I've been on a real Dave Keane kick lately. Boy, he really has a strange thing about sex. He has odd views about bad, slutty, naughty, evil women.
It's always interesting when you have a man who takes his mother's name for a pseudonym.
Yeah, I mean, and there's always a good girl that he really should be with, but he just can't resist the dirty, slutty, bad girl. So, yeah, a personal favorite is Stark. I mean, I like Donald Westlake's stuff as well, but it's a little more funny, a little lighter, and the Stark stuff is more along my... And we have, of course, today the amazing Megan Abbott here is in the audience with us, who I have to point out is brilliant. And if you haven't read Queen Pin yet, then there's something seriously wrong with you. And you need to run over there and buy a copy right now. And I'll give you change for that 20 later.
How long did it take you to write the book? When did it like officially go? Oh,
well, it's about I usually 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you know, for a draft. You know, I write really fast because I write novelizations, so I do tie-in work as my day job, which, if you're not familiar, is like either continuing stories of a character, a franchise character, such as Freddy Krueger, for example, or the book version of a script. So a movie will come out and they will sell a novel that's sort of like a fluffed up version of the story of the movie in prose form. And so that's my day job gig. And those deadlines are skin tight. I mean, they are very, very short, and you get used to that pulp speed, you know, where it's just one draft theater, you know, banging out of the typewriter and into the envelope. Although I guess that doesn't actually exist anymore. Now it's into the internet, into the ether, you know. But yeah, I love that kind of writing, and I love reading it, and I like writing it because I think that, you know, if you allow yourself to get too hung up in the, you know, tweaking and fixing and, well, maybe it should be more like this, and maybe it should be more like that, you can get lost in that forever, you know. And I like to say that I have the sperm theory of writing rather than the egg theory, which is you spray out as many as possible and hope a couple catch, as opposed to nurturing one little beautiful baby for 18 years until it can walk on its own.